What is up, guys? It is Robert of Gaming with Me, and welcome to a video talking about looking back at Flipnote Studio. Flipnote Studio came out on the Nintendo DSi. I loved this application. It was, I guess it's a game, but it was an application at the end of the day. And Nintendo offered this at one point, and I played so much of this, a ton of this. It was the application on my Nintendo DSi that was constantly on. This was Nintendo creativity at its finest, Nintendo quirkiness, and it was just fantastic. It was essentially an animation tool on your DSi where you would create flip notes. So you would draw something, you would flip a page, and then it would actually show like the outline of what it was last time. So you'd be able to create an animation straight on your DSi. And I love, creativity. I love creating content, right? And so this was such up my alley. It came out, I think, 2009, so I was 10 years old, and it was such up my alley. I'm not gonna say I was good at it, but I was very, very okay at it. I made a bunch of flip notes, and it wasn't just animations. I remember I would see people do like quizzes and stuff, and so you would download their flip notes, and they would have questions, and you would erase stuff. So you could erase stuff and be like, where do you go, blah blah blah. Then is it A, B, C, D? And then if you erase A, it'll say if it's right or wrong. Just random stuff like that. You were able to do some really creative shit, and so I made a bunch of things of anything. It was essentially YouTube for me before YouTube. The amount of incredible, ridiculously amazing animations that were made are mind-blowing. You were able to just see so many creative powers in the animation world. It was insane. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that actually got started with animation with Flipnote Studio. I would almost guarantee it, that went on to do, whether it be YouTube or go to actual, maybe major companies or something and draw for them. I don't know, but I guarantee you Flipnote Studio played a big part in a lot of artists' lives. I really believe it. And there was one point in this world, I was always Bowser Jr. I went by the name Bowser Jr. I unfortunately can't find my shit anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually have it, but I'm not going to do some off-camera stuff. Hopefully, I will be getting a capture card for my 3DS, and I'm sure I could transfer stuff. I don't know. We're going to see how that works, hopefully. So then I could actually have a whole video just based on what I made. But there was one point, I know I saw it, I'm not going crazy. It might have been a glitch, I don't know. But they would have the rankings of Flipnote Hatena. Hatena was basically the online service for Flipnote Studio, so you could view everyone's flip notes. You could download them, you could watch anything you want, you could search by creator, you could like them, and then they would create a ranking. So they would rank the creators, just like anything else, most popular of the day, whatever, blah, blah. Mine was at one point, my account, Flipnote Studio, was #1 in the world for like a day. I'm telling, I'm not even there's no exaggeration. No exaggeration at all. It was #1, and maybe it was a glitch. I mean, potentially it was, but I mean, legit. And I think it was really because, maybe if one of your things kind of, pops off for the day, you're probably gonna get that rank for at least the day, Maybe that might have been what it is, or it was a glitch. But I was never like, in the thousands, or I was actually, in the hundreds. Pretty good amount of my Flipnote Studio career. It wasn't like a long-lived career, but it was for a while. I remember being in the hundreds a good amount of times, and I think it was just because I was consistent with it. I made a bunch of flip notes. Again, not necessarily great, but a lot of those interactive ones were entertaining for people. So I would make the DSi game, and so I would make it where some guys going to work or whatever, and so you have to drive the car. So you could move things in the Flipnote Studio. So if you download it, you could move little things. So you would be able to move the car, and then you would flip to the next page, and it'd be another activity, like another game within the studio, within the actual Flipnote. So it was always kind of like it was more entertaining in terms of more interactive type stuff. So that's what I would do. I like that. And then I also did animations. I know a lot of people downloaded those, like the games, and maybe that's why I was around that area, because I did those games, and a lot of people enjoyed those type of stuff. And I enjoyed it too, so I would download whenever when someone else did something like that, then I would make my own, and it was just so fun, man. It was so fun. And then they brought it to the 3DS, Flipnote Studio 3D. You know, it expanded what you could do, make 3D flip notes and all that. I was already out of the loop, admittedly, during then. I think it was like 2017 or something when it came out or something. It was real late to the point where I was already well deep into YouTube, where I just didn't really quite go on my 3DS even. I was never on my 3DS that much to begin with. But if it went on Wii U, I think we would have a much different story, and it drives me insane. Why did they not make Flipnote Studio for Wii U? What the fuck? It's so stupid. I mean, it makes no sense. But if Flipnote Studio was on Wii U, I would have had a lot of hours into that, 100%. And I really wanted that. I remember I would go on Miiverse and I'd post, make Flipnote Studio for Wii U, you know. But then we got it on 3DS, and I was like, oh yes. Then the Flipnote Hatena, there's a lot of things that you have to pay for and stuff. They started including like microtransactions and stuff, and I wasn't too in love with it. It was either a microtransaction or it was like a subscription service. I think it was a subscription service. Wasn't really in love with that. But then now here we are with the Switch, and there's no Flipnote Studio for the Switch. Damn shame, because Flipnote Studio for DSi was fantastic, and unfortunately you can't even download it anymore. It's one of the lost games, applications that Nintendo has created that you just can't get anymore. And that is so sad to me. I think I was looking it up and it said 2017 when it shut down. What? Damn. And I think that makes sense. That's probably around when the Wii, it was probably when the Wii Shop channel, and I think the DSi channel went down there, or the DSi shop went down there too. Man, it drives me insane, and it just sucks because you were able to do so much things with Flipnote Studio, and it created so many amazing animations and countless hours of entertainment and creativity, and it's all just gone. Luckily, there are people that have created websites to back up thousands of Flipnote Studio creations, and it's very, very cool, and I'll link it actually in the description just so you could explore the world of what used to be Flipnote Studio, because there's so many. I'm sure there's also Flipnote Studio 3D stuff on there, and I think I might be wrong with this, but Flipnote Studio 3D's online also is shut down. That was not obviously lived as long as Flipnote Studio for DSi, but it's just such a damn shame because it's another franchise that Nintendo owns that has the potential to be huge on Switch. Yes, you have to do it in the tablet, you know, on the actual handheld itself. But fuck it, man, it is what it is. Let people come back to Flipnote Studio. Release it on Switch. How the hell was it not on Wii U when you had a gamepad that they meant to draw on? One of the selling points was drawing, and they didn't release Flipnote Studio on Wii U? Nintendo, that's ridiculous. That makes no sense. It's a damn shame. I loved that application so much. But it also just shows a different side of Nintendo. You know, they don't have any applications on Switch. The closest is Jump Rope Challenge, and that didn't launch with the console. You know, I'll count that though, Jump Rope Challenge. I'll count Jump Rope Challenge. But that's it, man. Yeah, Jump Rope Challenge. And what else? There's no Face Raiders. There's no Everybody Votes channel. The Check Me Out channel. Miiverse. There's so many things on every single console in the past few generations that Nintendo has included in the console that made it its own unique thing that the Switch just doesn't have. And I'm not trying to turn this into a, damn, the Switch is soulless, but it kind of is. And it's a damn shame because stuff like Flipnote Studio could liven it up. It can give it some personality, add some more depth to the animation and stuff, and people will go crazy in that. And Flipnote Studio should totally be on Switch. It should have been on Wii U. It makes more sense on Wii U. But man, what the hell? I loved Flipnote Studio on DSi. I remember the day that, well, I don't know if I remember the little day, but I remember when they announced it and they would show it off on the YouTube channel, and just they would have a lot of, you know, templates. They had a lot of things that Nintendo created that they included in the package. It was an amazing experience, one like I've never seen before. It's just that quirky, innovative Nintendo that I love to see that they just don't include in the systems anymore. And it's a damn shame. And hopefully the next Switch, you get more personality, more maybe some applications included, quirky animations or something, you know, some music, hopefully, because that I really enjoyed the DSi and Flipnote Studio. I just love opening up. I don't think I did that right, but it was like, you know, something like that. It was like that, but I you know, whatever. But I just wanted to take a look back and talk about Flipnote Studio. I know there's not going to be a lot of people talking about this nowadays, and it's a damn shame because it's stuff that I feel like should be remembered for sure. It's a gaming history, it's Nintendo's history, especially in the handhelds with the DS. You know, it's a damn shame. The DSi itself was a really cool console to me. I love being able to shop on there. I loved Photo Dojo, all those games that I was able to get on there. And something like Flipnote Studio was free, and it was there. And Nintendo definitely poured a lot of creativity into that, and it just allowed users on the DSi to pour creativity into it. And it was awesome. One of these days, we'll come back to Flipnote Studio, and I'll take a look at all my Flipnotes that I made. But that'll probably be a while from now, because I don't know. I don't really want to do it off camera, but we'll see. I'll see how we'll have to do. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hey, click that subscribe button. You like hearing about random topics in gaming, looking back at stuff? You know, we do that a good amount on here. So check it out. Hey, man. Thanks so much. Have you played Flipnote Studio? Did you make creations on there? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you did. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Reality just doesn't miss me. To be honest, I'm way past tipsy, but these fuckers keep giving me more drinks. I'm drinking beer, I don't even like beer, but it's weird, it's like the taste disappear. Passing out is what that should be, but I'm fearless, give me my 16-shot, you quiz. I'm not an alcoholic, but I wanna drown in all the liquids I can. What the fuck I got?